Group racing returns to Sha Tin on Sunday with the Sprint Cup and the Chairman's Trophy as well. Two Group 2 races, but Group 1 lineups indeed. A very warm welcome to Racing to Win. I'm Andrew Lejeune, joined here in the studio by Paul Lally, our form analyst, and race caller Brett Davis as well. And Brett, we have got Hong Kong's very best, or some of Hong Kong's very best, out on show.
We certainly do, Andrew. Yes, a couple of Group 2 races. They will be run at set weights, but with penalties, so that makes it a little bit more difficult for the top two in each of our highlight races. But yes, it's a quality program overall. The undercard very strong also. We've got Full of Beauty on show again. He's 4 from 4. Helene Charisma comes to Sha Tin now and will take on some of the horses that were placed in the Derby. And, of course, Beat the Clock, Mr Stunning. But the real draw card is the Champ Beauty Generation.
Certainly is. No jackpots, I don't think, as such, Paul, but some interesting first starters on the programme as well to bolster it.
Yeah, definitely. It's one interesting one in race 1, a Beauty Charisma, who was going to start earlier but did have a blood abnormality and didn't get to start. But we'll see him, and he's trialled well since, amongst other horses. Some really good ones there. Obviously, the class horses there, so that'll be the draw card. But the last race is a cracker, I thought.
Yeah, it is. There's not too many race days here in Hong Kong, Andrew, where we start with a Class 3. That's the case on Sunday.
Yeah, and the first of the group races comes up as race number 3 on the programme as well. So we get into the class action early. Now, as far as the scratchings are concerned, well, Power Racer, unfortunately, who was a promoted starter into race number 6, won't be going round now. Cheer Win takes his place. So race 6, number 7, is now Cheer Win. Caris Teton takes the ride there. This is meeting number 61 of the season, all on the turf. A+2 course, the race. B+2 course, apologies. B+2 for the rail position. 1,000 metre Class 3 is where we start. Cheerful Jet, a 4-time winner over the 1,200 metres at Happy Valley on the all-weather. Drops back to the 1,000 metres here. Ryanage, first start for Chris. So first up since June. Beauty Charisma makes his debut. Champion Pride, he's first up since February last year. Bright Kid, 5th over the 200 metres last time behind Dan Control. Goko, runner-up last time out in the start before behind Multi-Million. And down to the Abraxas, who's finished last on 3 of his 4 starts to date. Orionids and Healthy Luck are the horses that have been up at Chung Fa. Healthy Luck had his last start at Chung Fa, in actual fact, as we have a look at the speed map.
There's plenty of pace here, Andrew. Beauty Charisma, who Paul mentioned earlier, had a blood abnormality on his intended first start, will now make his debut. He was unbeaten in Australia. 5th Amendment, his name. He's got a lot of pace, but there are horses in this race that do have pace too, like Prince Harmony, Healthy Luck, California Gung Ho, the Abraxas, Champion Pride, and Orionids as well, another one.
Here is the aforementioned Beauty Charisma. He goes nicely. He's 1,083 pounds. He's had 3 trials, and he's looked good in those trials, so he's going to be a big player, I think, in this race. He goes nicely there down the back straight. Champion Pride, now we haven't seen him for over a year. Alfred Chan will come on and take a big weight off his back, though, and he's trialled really well recently, so he's an interesting runner. But I just thought I'd highlight him because we haven't seen this horse. Did run 3rd behind Mr Lumiere a while back, and Goko is in good form at the moment, and he's well rated, this horse as well. Change of jockeys here with Joe Moreira jumping aboard, and you can see him going nicely under a good hold as well.
All right, we'll start there in actual fact with Goko, who was 3rd across the line last time out, promoted to 2nd though. Prince Harmony didn't fare so well dropping out of it here.
This is his Goko, isn't it? Down the straight 1,000. He's a nice, big, strong horse. He can get a stride up. He has won off this rating 63 before. That's what he's currently rated. Look, it was a good run once again here. He did end up running 2nd, but probably should have been 3rd, as we know.
Yeah, look, this is his go, as Paul said. The question mark with him is, you know, some of these other horses that are returning and on debut, are they better than sort of this 60, 65 type of rating that he's got? That's about his best so far. So I think he'd be right there on his recent form. Yeah,
very consistent is Goko. Beauty Charisma, though, makes his belated debut after that fever and blood orb abnormality. This is his trial coming in with a smart one in behind there. That's Mr Stunning.
Yeah, you can see he looks a natural runner, doesn't he? But he has had a little bit of a setback. Of course, he'll race in the colours of Beauty Generation. Patrick Kwok, the owner, and this was a nice performance. He won at Bairnsdale and Cranbourne over 1,000 in Australia before coming. He won both those races by a similar margin to what he won that trial. So if he can snare the lead early, then he should, you know, make a good fist of it.
I think he'll run well, yeah. He's an interesting runner for sure.
This is Champion Pride then back at the trials. Again, it was a pretty decent trial perfect match in here. Singapore Sling out wide and Rise High cutting through the pack as well.
I'm not sure what the situation's been with this horse, but he is a 5-year-old. He hasn't raced for over a year. There's nothing in the vets. There was a period where he almost left Hong Kong for 4 months. I don't know whether they transferred him out of Hong Kong and took him somewhere to mature physically or what the situation is. But the trials leading in have been nice, and as Paul touched on, there was some good form in his first prep.
And this is California Gung Ho. Karis Teat will ride him, and he's got a high gate hit barrier 11.
Yeah, he's still a maiden, California Gung Ho, in his time here in Hong Kong, but he's had limited starts, to be fair to the horse. He's only had the 10 starts. He has had a placing before as well. And that 30, he actually ran off a rating of 70. He's now rated 62, so he comes into the race quite well.
Yeah, there was that run at Sha Tin over the straight 1,000 where he ran a place that sort of suggested he might be winning shortly, but it hasn't eventuated yet.
That was Silver Fig as well, the grey. He'll run later on the program. Goko's favourite, Paul. You take him on?
No, I've got him on top, Goko. He's the one that's exposed, and he has won. He's in good form at the moment. So at rating of 63, I'll put him on top to beat the first start of Beauty Charisma. There's a lot of unknowns about him, but he looks really good in his trials, and he seems to be going nicely, well prepared. California Gung Ho has been placed off a lot higher rating, and we'll take a chance with Champion Pride with the £10 off in there for fourth, because that trial was pretty good. 8-3, 10-4.
Yeah, I'll take a chance with him as well, Champion Pride. Hasn't raced for over a year, but I've liked what I've seen in the mornings, and I like the £10 off. I actually think there's quite a lot of pace potentially in this race, some real speed, and maybe at the end when they're all puffing and panting, that £10 claim might just sort of kick in and protrude Champion Pride to the lead. So him on top of Beauty Charisma, Goko and California Gung Ho.
There you go. Same 4 numbers. We've all the same 4 numbers here, just in a slightly different order. I went 3 and 8 as opposed to 8 and 3 of course.
To fill up then on the first 4.
There you go. Beauty Charisma, John Moore and Zach Purton. It might get better for them as the day goes on as well.